What if I told you that the most dangerous thing you do after every meal isn't what you eat, it's what you do next? Millions of people unknowingly make the same mistake every single day. It silently spikes blood sugar, drains your energy, increases cravings, and over the years may raise your risk of diabetes and heart disease. But here's what's shocking. Doctors have known about a simple habit that can dramatically reduce those blood sugar spikes, and it takes less than 15 minutes. The problem? Most people either do it at the wrong time or make one mistake that completely cancels the benefit. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when to do it, why it works inside your body, and the one mistake you must avoid if you want real results. Trust me, once you understand what's happening inside your body after every meal, you'll never look at your post-dinner routine the same way again. Before you go, if you're someone who wants to protect your health with simple, science-backed advice, not confusing medical jargon, then this channel was made for you. Every week, I'll be uploading videos that explain what really happens inside your body, the early warning signs you should never ignore, the healthiest foods to eat, and doctor-backed habits that can help you live longer and feel better. So if that sounds like something you don't want to miss, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Your future self will thank you for it. Something happens in your body about 15 minutes after you finish eating that most people never think about. And depending on what you do in that window, your blood sugar either behaves itself or spikes hard enough to leave you tired, foggy, and craving something sweet an hour later. Here's the thing. Doctors have known about this for years, but it rarely gets talked about in a way that actually makes sense to regular people. So today we're going to fix that. There's a simple habit, something you can do in your own living room or right outside your front door, that research has linked to a serious drop in after-meal blood sugar spikes. We're talking about a difference big enough that some studies have measured it above 50% compared to just sitting down after eating. Now, before you get too excited, I want to be honest with you. Results like that come from controlled studies, and your body isn't a lab. But the underlying effect is real, it's been replicated, and it might be the single most underrated thing you can do for your metabolic health after 50. So stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why this works, how to do it properly, and, this is important, the biggest mistake people make that cancels out the whole benefit. Let's start with what actually happens inside you after a meal. When you eat, especially anything with carbohydrates, bread, rice, pasta, even fruit, your digestive system breaks it down into glucose, which is just a fancy word for sugar that circulates in your blood. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, which acts like a key, unlocking your muscle cells so that sugar can move out of your bloodstream and into your muscles where it gets used for energy. That sounds simple enough. But here's where it gets interesting. As we get older, our muscles become a little less responsive to that insulin key. Doctors call this insulin resistance, but really it just means the lock gets a bit rusty. The key still works, but it takes more effort, more insulin, and more time. And during that delay, sugar lingers in your bloodstream longer than it should. That lingering is what causes the crash you feel after a big meal, the heaviness, the brain fog, sometimes even shakiness or that urge to lie down on the couch for a nap you didn't plan on taking. Now here's what doctors don't usually explain clearly enough. That lock doesn't just sit there waiting. It can be encouraged to work faster. And one of the most effective ways to encourage it is movement. Not intense movement, not a gym session, just walking. Here's why walking specifically has such an outsized effect right after a meal. When your leg muscles contract, even during a slow, easy walk, they can pull glucose out of your bloodstream through a completely separate pathway that doesn't even need much insulin. Scientists call this pathway insulin-independent glucose uptake, but let's just call it the muscle's back door. While insulin is still fumbling with the rusty front door lock, your muscles can quietly let sugar in through the back. That's the whole secret. 2 doors instead of 1, and walking opens the second one almost immediately. Now you're probably wondering, how long does this window last? Does it have to be right after eating, or can you wait a bit? This is where timing becomes everything, and it's also where most people accidentally waste the benefit. Research looking at post-meal walking found the effect is strongest when you start moving within the first 30 minutes after finishing your meal, not 2 hours later when you remember. Not after you've sat through an entire episode of your favorite show. Within that first half hour, your blood sugar is climbing, insulin is still catching up, and that's exactly the moment your muscle's back door needs to be open. Wait for too long, and your blood sugar has already spiked and started coming back down on its own. The walk still helps a little, but you've missed the window where it does the heavy lifting. And here's something that surprises almost everyone when they hear it for the first time. You don't need a long walk. You don't need 10,000 steps. Some of the most convincing research used walks lasting just 10 to 15 minutes, done at a relaxed conversational pace. Slow enough that you could talk to a friend beside you without running out of breath. That's it. 10 to 15 minutes. Not a power walk, not stairs. Just moving your legs at a comfortable pace after you eat. Sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? And that's exactly why so many people dismiss it. But here's the surprising part. Some studies comparing a short walk after meals to just sitting quietly found that the walking group had blood sugar spikes reduced dramatically, in certain trials, over 50% lower peak glucose compared to remaining seated. Other research measured smaller but still meaningful reductions, somewhere in the 20 to 30% range, depending on the meal size and the person's baseline health. I want to pause here and be completely honest with you, because I promised I wouldn't exaggerate. The exact percentage varies from person to person and from study to study. Your results will depend on your own health, your medications, if you're on any, and what you actually ate. This isn't a magic trick that erases a birthday cake slice. But even on the conservative end, we're talking about a meaningful, measurable reduction in blood sugar spikes from something that costs you nothing and takes less time than washing the dishes. Now let's talk about the mistake, because there is one, and it's incredibly common. A lot of people hear walk after meals and think, great, I'll do my regular morning walk instead, just later in the day. That's a mistake. The timing matters specifically because it's tied to when your blood sugar is rising, which is right after eating, not sometime unrelated to a meal at all. A walk at 7 a.m. before breakfast is wonderful for your heart and your mood, but it does almost nothing for the blood sugar spike that happens after you eat lunch at noon. Another mistake, and this one catches people off guard, is walking too fast. If you're huffing and puffing, trying to get your steps in quickly, your body actually shifts into a different mode. It starts pulling more from stored sugar reserves in your liver to fuel that intensity, which can occasionally cause a temporary rise instead of a drop, especially in people with certain blood sugar conditions. The goal here isn't cardio. It's gentle, steady movement that quietly signals your muscles to open that back door we talked about earlier. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever gone for a fast walk after a big dinner thinking you were doing something great, only to feel oddly more tired afterward? That might be exactly why. So what does the ideal version of this actually look like in real life? Picture this. You finished dinner. Instead of heading straight to the recliner, you put on your shoes, maybe grab your phone or a light jacket if it's cool outside, and you walk around your block, your yard, your hallway, wherever is available to you. Slow, easy pace. You could hum a tune. You could chat with your spouse. 10 minutes, maybe 15 if you're feeling good. That's genuinely it. No equipment, no subscription, no special shoes required, although comfortable ones certainly help. And here's something most people never realize. This doesn't just help with that one meal's blood sugar spike. When you do this consistently, meal after meal, day after day, you're training that insulin lock to work a little smoother over time. It's like oiling a hinge that's been squeaking for years. One walk won't fix insulin resistance built up over decades, but a walk after most meals, done consistently for weeks and months, has been associated in research with meaningfully improved blood sugar control overall, not just the temporary post-meal spike. Now I know some of you watching are thinking about winter, or bad weather, or joint pain that makes outdoor walking difficult some days. Believe it or not, this still works indoors. Pacing around your living room, walking up and down a hallway, even marching gently in place while watching the news. The mechanism is the same. Your leg muscles contracting is what matters, not scenery. And if walking itself is difficult for you because of a joint issue or balance concern, gentle movement still counts. Some research has even looked at simple things like calf raises or shifting your weight from foot to foot while standing at the kitchen counter, done for a similar window after eating. The effect isn't quite as strong as a full walk, but it's far better than sitting completely still. Now here's where things get interesting, because this raises an obvious question. What if you can't walk right after every single meal? What if you're at work or at a restaurant, or it's simply not practical? Honestly, don't stress about perfection here. Even doing this after your largest meal of the day, the one with the most carbohydrates, gives you a meaningful benefit. You don't need to turn every meal into a walking ritual. Think of it as targeting the meal that spikes you the most and building the habit from there. And this tiny detail changes everything for people managing prediabetes or working to avoid it. Because the scary part about blood sugar spikes isn't really the spike itself once in a while. It's the repeated spiking, meal after meal, year after year, that gradually wears down that insulin system we talked about earlier. Each spike is like a small stress test. Do it enough times and the system starts to struggle permanently. But smooth those spikes out, even partially, and you're giving your body room to recover and stay resilient. That sounds harmless enough on paper, until you realize how many meals we actually eat in a year. 3 meals a day? That's over 1,000 opportunities annually where your blood sugar either behaves or spikes. And that's exactly why this small, unassuming habit carries so much weight. I also want to mention something important before we wrap up. If you're on medication for diabetes, particularly insulin or certain other medications, please talk to your doctor before making significant changes to your after-meal routine, because walking can sometimes affect blood sugar in ways that interact with your medication timing. This video is meant to inform you, not replace the guidance of your own physician who knows your specific health history. The reason this whole topic matters so much, especially for those of us over 50, isn't just about avoiding a sugar crash on the couch. It's about the bigger picture. Long-term, unmanaged blood sugar spikes are connected to fatigue, weight gain that feels impossible to shift, and over the years, more serious complications involving your heart, your eyes, even your kidneys. Nobody wants to think about that. But here's the hopeful part, and honestly, it's the part I want you to walk away remembering most. You don't need a complicated program. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight, although eating well certainly helps too. You just need 10 to 15 minutes, within 30 minutes of finishing a meal, at a gentle pace that lets you breathe easily and talk comfortably. That's a habit almost anyone can build, regardless of age or fitness level. Think about it, something this small, this accessible, sitting quietly available to nearly everyone, and most people go their whole lives never knowing it's there. So here's what I'd love for you to do. Tonight, after dinner, just try it. 10 minutes. See how you feel afterward. Notice if you feel a little less foggy, a little less weighed down than usual. Small experiments like that are how real, lasting habits get built. I really do care about you walking away from this channel a little healthier than when you arrived, and I mean that sincerely. If this video helped you understand something new about your own body, it would mean a lot if you hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing, because we're going to keep bringing you honest, simple, doctor-informed ways to help you and the people you love live longer, stronger years, especially past 50. And I'd genuinely love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me if you already do something like this, or if you're going to try it tonight for the first time. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.